I mean, it was so smart of you and to, be an early adopter of that form of storytelling. It's like you've always been on that edge. You were huge on Snapchat, on Twitter, on TikTok, all of those sort of things. In fact, I love that there was a quote. This is per the New York Times. Spencer Pratt, a postmodern pioneer. He didn't just dabble in reality television. He was also its first truly compelling, thoroughly loathsome villain. Now, do you still look back on that era and you're like, I'm so glad that I took every step that I did in that direction and allowed sort of like that chunk of my life to be seen? I mean, obviously, there's been sort of like a run around on Spencer Pratt where it's like we all look at you differently now, especially I would say in the last few years. But are you happy that that was your foray into TV?
I was just talking about this to somebody. I never was planning on being on camera. So when I sold Princes of Malibu, I shot everything, I edited everything. And then the first day of filming, once a big production company, which I was too young, I was only 20. I should have been more, if I could go back in time, I would have known what was happening to me. Like I was getting hijacked. Like I had my own walkie-talkie. It said executive producer Spencer.
Right.
And they're like, Spencer, get in and kind of stir up, get Dave. And I'm like, no, I got a walkie-talkie. I stand over there no, we need, and I kind of got, and I was like, I didn't get what I was, I joke, it's like the Matrix. I didn't realize I was taking the pill
yes, you were taking the pill.
And then once I was in, then I was too late. And then it's just now we're drinking in Nobu. I didn't think about it. And that moment did change my life forever because nobody ever took me seriously again. Nowadays there's a Kim K who has been able to be a reality personality and an actor and almost a lawyer.
And a mogul, an entrepreneur, all these things.
That was, and good for her, but that was impossible. So I kind of just accepted what I got into. And then David Foster, once I was kind of in it, he was like, you need to be the Simon Cowell of reality TV. And I didn't even watch American Idol. I didn't even know who Simon Cowell was. I was like, what does that mean?
All right.
What are you talking about, Foster?
David Foster, iconic producer.
Yeah, I'm what are you
knows
talking
everything.
about? He's like, be the bad guy, be the villain. And he put me on. And so he had the biggest house I'd ever been to.
So we have Spencer Pratt because David Foster, who produced I Will Always Love You for Whitney Houston, was be a villain on reality TV.
Yes, 100%.
Wow.
And he was and I truly, I think about it all the time.
Well, he's a great producer.
What he didn't explain to me though, why Simon Cowell was able to get away with what he did is it was grounded in, I'm trying to tell you, you're not talented because it's just the truth. So
yeah, I'm just being blunt.
The problem with me just being blunt and doing whatever producers wanted and making the game is the audience doesn't see there's no he's just telling it how it is. It's just oh, he's a monster. So that's what I didn't see looking back wait, no,
the larger picture.
I'm just doing the gig, but it's no, people then they took it very serious. And
yeah.
So looking back to your question, I think I would have gone harder.
Wow.
Because I think it's looking now what I know, you're lucky if people remember you post a TikTok, people's
sure. brains.
So I would have had to have gone so much harder to even go to another tier where Viacom would have been it's a balance though, because you also, what I learned is you need to figure out how advertisers want to work with you and brands. Because if you make yourself too hated to make the TV show, then you as an entity, it's hard for people to be in business with you. So that's why it's I wish I could have, but you couldn't have.